Hey y'all, I'm back for another video and currently it's spring break. I honest to God don't remember the last time I spoke to y'all. It's probably been it's probably been almost a month, probably more, I don't know. Um but yes, a lot of stuff has been occurring and I don't know, I just don't really think about like updating you guys cuz I don't know, it's not like I don't care about you guys. Obviously I do cuz but at the same time, a girl's been busy doing things, and I'm gonna update you guys right now. But first, I need to put in my contacts, so let's do that. Oh, fuck. Shit. Okay, so firstly, we will talk about today. I am going to go get my roots redone, and I think I am tired of the blonde for now, so I think I am going to change my hair color. I'm debating whether I should just full send, just go for like an orange, just like a really bright orange as I did previously. But I mean, I could also go for like a light like like a blonde that's like slightly ginger. Like I don't know if I want like full orange or like a tasteful amount of orange. Why is my eye like fucking burning? Holy shit. Whatever. I'll get over it, I think. Hopefully. Okay. I think that feels fine. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm getting ready to go to the appointment. Cause I got my hair done before I went to Vietnam, so that was probably in I think like around the Thanksgiving time, so November, so it's been December, January, and February, and now so yeah, it's been like almost 3 months. So I gotta get back in and get my hair did. So and like the blonde is such like I don't know an upkeep. And like I do like having lighter hair, so I don't think I'm gonna go back to black anytime soon. But I think I want to keep like my lighter hair because I really like that and I just like the versatility of it all. So that's what's going on today. The appointment is in like an hour or two, so I'm getting ready now. It doesn't take me that long to get ready, so I'm not too concerned about time. Um, and I just checked my email and I got accepted into my program because, as you guys know, I was previously a transfer into the CDES or whatever the fuck. So the College of Design, I originally went into college for liberal arts, and then I was like, okay, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to full send into like the arts and stuff. So that's what I did, and I went through portfolio review like a week or so ago, and I got accepted. And I mean, I kind of expected it because I'll tell you about the portfolio review if you guys don't know what that is. So basically, you go in and then when you first join the program, you're not technically like a declared major. You're called a pre-major. So if you're like a pre-major for architecture, if you want to go into architecture, you have to pre-major into it, and you have to take like certain design classes, and then you show the work that you did in those like previous design classes to like the professors or whoever's in the program, like directors or whatever the fuck, and then they determine whether you need more work on like your portfolio to like depict more like knowledge of like whatever the fuck, right? Or you're good to go and you can just go into the program and take the required classes to graduate. Um, and so that's what I did for what's it called? Graphic design. I went in and I had to take some design classes like last semester. So I cranked them all out last semester, because because normally when you join the like college, you usually join the college that you know you want to get into. So I did CLA first, and I was like, oh man, I don't like that. So normally when you go into the College of Design, you just go into it and then you just start the program as a freshman. But I went in as a sophomore, so I was like, you know what, I'll just take all the classes now, and I did. And then, so yeah, and then so I had to get all my work together for my portfolio review, and that shit was so hard because like I took an art class like last year, and that counted as like my one of my like fundamental art classes, and so like the transfer process was like fucking it shouldn't have been as difficult as it was for me, at least. I think it's just like my like the person I was talking to making it sound like a lot more difficult than it actually was, but whatever. I mean, whatever. So I got all of that in line in order, and then so we had to go to like this room. Apparently there was like 3 different rooms, and each of these rooms had like at least like 7 or 8 kids that were going through their own portfolio review. So we had to hang our stuff up, um, at least most of the physical stuff, you were able to like show shit on like your computer and stuff, because it is like a college of design class. So a lot of our classes we did like, why is one eyebrow like darker than the other? Okay, we have to look at that. But anyways, yeah, so a lot of the classes we like did a lot of like more digital work, so it was kind of expected for us to kind of show our work like on our computers a little bit, because we did a lot of like Photoshop and like InDesign and like illustrative stuff, because it's college of design. Yeah, so that's what we did, and I was like freaking out a little bit because a lot of like the people that were in my room like printed out like their digital stuff, and I was like, oh fuck, should I have done that? Like, I don't know if I should have printed out my digital stuff, because I was just planning on like just showing them what I had like just on my computer, because I feel like when I print stuff out, the colors are not like as accurate as I want it to be, so I wanted to show it as accurately as possible. So I didn't print them out, but a lot of people did, and I was like, oh fuck, maybe I should. And then I went down to go print, but like the printing people weren't there, because I needed to print something like my poster, which is digital, and to print poster size, you have to like have like a front desk attendant to help you, because you have to print on these big ass plotters, and they weren't there, and I was like, oh fuck. But then I got it to work. I worked out at the end for me. And then so yeah, I got that all printed out, and then I went to the room, and for my portfolio review, there's only like, I think there was only like 3 people in there, and fortunately I knew one of my reviewers, because there's like a panel of judges, not judges, I don't really know what they're named, that like come in and like review your work, and they're like part of the I think graphic design like department. So yeah, that was pretty sick, and I knew one of them because she was my professor for last semester, and luckily me and her had a pretty good relationship. I don't think I had like a negative like relationship with any of my professors. All of them have been like super, like pretty good, like pretty great, like ranging from good to pretty great. I haven't had like an experience with a really really bad professor. So yeah, there's that. But I feel bad for some of the people because they have had experience with like not really good, like just not a good experience with some professors, and I feel bad about that. But like most of the professors I've like had, I've never really had an issue with them. Like maybe I might not like them because of their teaching style or something, but like personality wise, like they're usually like really agreeable people. So I feel bad for people who get stuck with like really shitty like professors, to be honest with you. But I get the luxury of like signing up for my classes like months ahead of like normal college kids, because I'm like in this program, I don't know what it's called, but it lets me like sign up for my classes like months earlier, so I get to like research who I want to go with. But sometimes I do get stuck with like kind of shitty like times, because some of the classes like they don't have like the professors like already like sanctioned to them. So but yeah, anyways, but yeah, so the review, each of us got a 20-second like time, not second, minute time slot, where we could just kind of talk about like our work and like our experiences and stuff. And a lot of I was expecting to talk a lot more about like my digital experience, but they were like talking a lot more about like my traditional art, and I was like, I mean, I don't mind that because I like talking more about like the stuff I like, which is traditional art. I do a lot more like I'm a lot more comfortable with like a pen and paper rather than just cranking out shit on like computers, because I'm like really technologically like horrible. Like I know how to do things on the computer, but like if you ask me like what a JavaScript is, I could not tell you what the fuck that is. But you know, obviously you have to know some of that for digital. So but yeah, so we talked a lot, at least in my review, about my like my traditional stuff, because I guess they were just kind of like curious about like what I drew and like my thought process behind it. But like since it's been like almost a year since I've made it, it's been more than a year since I've made those things. Like I don't have a lot of like thoughts of, like if they asked me when I like initially made them, I would have given them a lot more insight. But since it's been so long, I don't remember like much of the process, you know. So it was kind of hard, but at the same time, I think they kind of got a gist of like who I am as an artist. And that's like my number one like advice whenever anyone's like going through any type of like review towards the art. I think it's best if you don't like kind of like, I think it's best if you just be yourself. I really don't know how other people do it. Like I feel like a lot of people like try to put in the best version of themselves, but I think at the end of the day, as long as you're like just yourself and just like depict that you're like like just explain your art, like I think people will understand it. And I think that a lot of the times the art will kind of just speak for itself, and all you have to do is apply them with like just what the parameters of the assignment was, and like just a little bit of the thought process. But otherwise, I think your art kind of speaks for itself. And one of the I actually kind of like expected to pass because one of because it wasn't like I got the vibe that they weren't like liking my work. It was obvious that like they were kind of, you know, digging me. Not to toot my own horn, not to toot my own horn now, but like one of the reviewers was like, your work is like super good, like, and like if you ever want to take a class, you can always take my class. And he like said that his section and like what times the class was, and I was like, and this is one of those classes that you have to be like a major, like declared major to take. So I was like, oh, like I'll definitely take your class if I pass. And then he was like, oh yeah, I don't think you have a problem with that. And I was like, I walked out of there feeling like the man. But like I was still nervous, obviously, because what if I said the wrong thing? But like one of the questions one of the reviewers asked me was that like, oh, so you're a person that really likes like a challenge and likes to really kind of push their boundaries when it comes to like art and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's really important to just kind of challenge yourself as an artist, or else, you know, it's boring otherwise. And I think that was a good answer, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, that's my philosophy when it comes to art. Whenever I make art, I kind of find it boring if I just kind of just do the bare minimum. And it obviously depends on the assignment, but most of the time, even if I do find it like kind of challenging, I try to add like another personal challenge to it, even though it's probably not required. A lot of the times I think I don't know, like I think you should like take advantage of like the resources that you have in college. So I really try to take advantage of like the assignments that are like given to me, and really try to like put as much of my personality into the assignment as possible. Because when it comes to other classes, I do the bare minimum. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like when it comes to like my like normal general classes, I'm like, okay, I'll write a paper, but like I'm not writing like my heart and soul into it. You know, I'm just gonna write the paper to get it fucking done with. But with like my art classes, I do a lot more like active participation, I guess. I don't know. I put a lot more of myself into my art, and so uh, I like to like challenge myself as well when it comes to art. And just like go all out, because I feel like if you just don't have fun with your art, at the end of the day, it's not going to be enjoyable. And since you're in college, like just experiment with your work and stuff. Because once you get like clients and stuff, it's obvious that you're not gonna be able to do too much personal work. So like while you're in college, like my recommendation personally is just have as much fun as possible with the assignments you're given. Because if you're just doing work just to do work, like it just feels monotonous at the end of the day, and you're gonna start hating that shit, you know. And so I feel like when you're given an assignment, don't think of it as like an assignment, but think of it as like just like something that just think of it as like something that like a goal for yourself, you know, like not something that's like gonna be submitted for a grade, but something that you would want other people to like enjoy, and like for you to enjoy the process of, because at the end of the day, that's what art is all about. And I think that problem pretty much was what was depicted in my portfolio anyways, because a lot of the art I do is for my own personal enjoyment, while also, you know, following the requirements and stuff. But like art school, like literally they don't really give you like any like really harsh like regulations when it comes to art. Like they don't give you like strict rules that you abide by. They just are like, okay, so you have to use this program, and then you have to, you know, obviously do like the really technical stuff. Like if you're working with Photoshop, there's gonna be some stuff that they want you to do, like don't use any imported fonts, or make sure that everything is like non-destructive and stuff like that. But like otherwise, I mean, it's all fair game, and that's what I really like about just the nature of art. I just like how everything is just very loose and very artistic, and that's one of my favorite things. And I think that while you have this opportunity to really kind of go balls to the walls, then do it. Like do it. It's not gonna like make you a worse artist, I don't think. In fact, I believe like experimenting makes you like a way better artist, because then you kind of figure out what you don't and do like. And even if you don't like something, like at least you'll have a reason why to not like it. Like at first I was like, man, I fucking hate Photoshop. But after working with it for a while, and really kind of like challenging myself, I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, it's still shit. I don't like working with Adobe, but like now I know what I like do and don't like about these certain programs. And I'm an Illustrator homie, so I really like using Adobe Illustrator above anything else. And like at first I hated InDesign as well, but the more I kind of work with it, the more I'm like more open to the thought of powering up my InDesign. Oh, fuck. But yeah, so I passed my portfolio review, which I'm kind of stoked about. Like I said, I already kind of got the inkling that I was gonna pass because what one of the reviewers said during my things, like, oh, it's not gonna be a problem for you. Then I'm like, okay, if you say that I'm not gonna have a problem, I believe you because you're the one grading me. And it was really comforting since I already had someone I knew, because I was kind of scared I wouldn't know anybody in my review panel. But since I had that one professor, I was like, okay, sick, very sick. And she said that she really liked a lot of the work that I did in her class anyway, so that was really reassuring as well. So yeah, so if you guys are going through your own portfolio review, don't fret about it too much. Unless you are unconfident about your work, then you probably should be worried. But if you're if you're like genuinely happy with the work that you do and you're like pleased about everything that you've done, then you're good. Like when I was like creating my portfolio, I was like, oh man, like I really like the work that I've done. And I tried to have as much variety in there as possible, but there's obviously like parameters to it. Like you can't just put in your personal work. It has to be like work from classes and stuff. So that can be a little bit limiting, but at the same time, I feel like since I was able to really kind of have fun with those assignments already, then I was like already like really pleased with everything that I've done, you know? And so all I had to do was kind of explain like my process and like what I wasn't happy with and stuff like that. And like stuff that I was proud of and shit like that. And it was really fun, I think. What else here? Okay, so yep, had my portfolio, and then I passed. Wasn't that difficult. And then actually, the week before my portfolio review, which was like in the middle of fucking February, I've had my wisdom teeth. Like my dentist have like told me to like take my shit out for like a couple of years now, but I was just kind of like, yeah, and then there was like a period in my life where I didn't go to the dentist for like almost a year. Usually I try to go at least like twice a year, but then I just was like, I'm a grown adult now and I don't want to go. And then my parents just never forced me to go, so I stopped going to the dentist. But then I went back and they were like, yeah, you're probably good. And then my teeth, one of my like back teeth, I think one of my wisdoms on this side got like super duper infected. Like it was swollen. It was like so hard to talk and eat. It was like everything about it was just hurting so bad. And then one of the days, like there was like pus coming out of it, and it freaked me out so fucking bad. So I told my mom, like, I have to get this out of my mouth. Like it's freaking me out. Like I don't think I think it would have been like I would be able to like withstand it for a couple more weeks, but if I was to live with it, no. So I had to get them shits out. So we had to do an impromptu kind of wisdom tooth removal, because I was actually going to wait until spring break, which is right now, to do it, but I literally could not wait because that shit was hurting so bad. And like the second the pus came out of my mouth, I literally like texted my mom. I was like, we have to get this removed like right now, because I was going to get it taken out like I think like during winter break, but then I was in Vietnam, so I couldn't do it. And then I was going to do it in like October, since I figured like might as well just do it now, since, you know. But then just stuff happened about insurance and stuff, American systems, am I right? So then I didn't get that done, and then I got it done recently, and that shit was horrible. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was horrible. Like the process of it getting out was not at all. My dentist, he's a little weird. He's a little quirky. I feel like a lot of my dentists I've had like are kind of weird. Like they're not like horrible. They're just weird, which I would rather prefer over like a weird dentist than like a dentist that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, my dentist was cool. They put an IV in my arm, and then I just went to sleepy sleep, and then I woke up, and then I asked the nurse if I could have my teeth, and she's like, yeah, we already threw them bitches away, you can't get them. And I was like, damn, because I kind of wanted them, no lie. But then so yeah, I went home, and then at first my healing was pretty well. Like obviously I'm gonna swallow up really bad, but we had like ice packs and stuff, and that wasn't too bad, and the pain was manageable. It wasn't like horrible. But then like after this, like the third day, my right side of my face, like this side of my face, like went down, and I was like totally normal. on that side. It was obviously it still hurt, but like the swelling went down, which I was really grateful about. But for some reason, this side like stayed swollen. It was like super hard, and there was like a lump on the bottom of my face, like right here. There was like this really big lump. Like if you felt my face at that time, you would have literally like felt this big fucking lump. And like on this side, like I did not feel a lump. So I was like, okay. And I just kind of chalked it up to like normal healing because I read online before I even like went into the like I literally was researching like wisdom tooth recovery like even before I got my like thing because I was so nervous about it because I've never had surgery before. And like yeah, I was just really nervous about it. And so I did some research and it said that you would be swollen for like a week max. I was like, okay, whatever. Like people recover differently. And so I was like, okay, maybe the left side of my face just is just doing its own thing and it's gonna go down. But then after like the end of the third day to like the fourth and fifth day, I was like, okay, this something about this is not normal because this side hurt so much more than this side. Like this side, I felt nothing. Like there was no pain, there was nothing. But this side, it was hurting so fucking bad, and this like the swelling was like pissing me off, and my jaw was super duper tight to the point where I literally could only open it like this wide. So I was like I couldn't eat that much because I didn't want to chew because it would hurt too much to move my jaw because it was so tight here. And so I was like, okay, we gotta go in. But fucking Minnesota decided to have a fucking shit snowstorm. It was like we like got like feet like inches of snow. And I was like, what the fuck? So I couldn't go in for a while because we had to let the snow subside for a little bit. And then so I went in on one of the days where it wasn't snowing horribly. And my dentist checked it out and he told me that like apparently my operation had gone pretty smoothly. Like there was just a lot of soft tissue and like taking it out wasn't even that much of an issue according to him. And then he checked out my fucking mouth and he was like, oh shit. Like he initially he had thought it was like a buildup of like blood that was in my jaw, which would have been according to him pretty bad. um but yeah, he was like, yeah, this is definitely not normal. And then he was like, okay, I think we have to like go in there, like go into your like in like your removal spot and like get rid of whatever the fuck is in there. And I'm like, okay, because he wasn't sure if it was like what it was, but he just like he knew there was just like a buildup in there. And so like I wasn't expecting to go into like I wasn't expecting to like get anything like removed today. So I was like, okay, cool. And then so, you know, we went to the thing and then they what the fuck did they do? Oh yeah, first he numbed the spot, obviously, because he's gonna be going in there and doing shit to it. And then they offered me laughing gas, and I was like, I've never had laughing gas before, so maybe I should take it. At first, I was like, nah, I don't think I'll need it. But then the thought, I like mulled it over a little bit more. I'm like, yo, like if they're offering it to me, why the fuck not? Like, why wouldn't I take it? So I was like, I went to the nurse. I'm like, actually, I changed my mind. I will take the laughing gas. And she's like, okay, tight. So she gave me some of it, and golly, bro, that was fun as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie, it was fun. It like I felt like sentient. Like I felt like I was there, but at the same time I wasn't. It was like a different experience. And I feel like if I didn't take it, like I would have suffered so badly because like the second because like the second he like went into my mouth with this tool to kind of see what it was, like dude, when I tell you this pain, the pain that I felt was like unlike any other pain I've ever felt. Like it literally, like I literally was curled up in a fucking ball, like almost, like my knees were almost up to my chest. Like I was like gripping the fucking chair, like I was sweating so fucking bad. Like I literally had like sweat running down my like my legs and my back and everything the second I left because of how painful it was. Like I was literally traumatized after I left. Like I went home shaking. I literally came back, laid in my bed for like the entire day, just shaking because of how traumatizingly bad it was. It was so painful. But it turns out it wasn't like a buildup of blood, which is really good because that would have been horrible. It was just like a buildup of pus, I think. That he said, yeah, he said there was like a lot of pus in there that just like kind of seeped into the spot, and then so he had to drain that, and then he found like a fucking like blood clots in there as well. So yeah, they were like, good thing you came in today because otherwise this would have been really bad if you let it go any like worse. And I was like, what the fuck? And apparently, I guess I was too out of it, but apparently they put something in my mouth, like a little like a packing that had like medicine in it, and I didn't realize that that was like in there. Cause like when the surgery was all done and did, and like when I got my arrest, like I was like, wow, like I don't feel any pain. Like that is so amazing. Like it feels like there's not even a hole in my mouth anymore. And turns out they put like a small piece of cotton in there with like medicated stuff in there. And I didn't even realize that until I took it out on my next appointment, which is a couple days. It was literally right after my portfolio review. So like it was just a really so everything just lined up perfectly. So I was really happy about that. And yeah, so during my like recovery, it wasn't like horrible. It was like this side like felt totally fine. I was, doing salt rinses and stuff like that. And like the only thing that sucked was not being able to like fucking eat like anything. Like I literally had like jello, not jello, I didn't really eat a lot of jello. I ate like pudding for most of it, and because I couldn't move my jaw, I was literally like drinking shit all the fucking time, and I was getting kind of sick of it. I'm not even gonna lie. I had like instant mashed potato, but I made it up to the point where it's like super fucking soupy. So I was like drinking that shit instead of like eating it. And like by like the time like I think the week ended, I was craving. I just wanted to chew something. Like I was getting so pissed off that I couldn't chew, because like you don't realize how like often like how much you want to chew after you haven't chewed in a week. I don't know how to explain it, but like if you've ever had your wisdoms like removed, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like you probably just want like that sensation or something in your mouth to like just chew and just like have in your mouth rather than just having go down your throat. So that was skeeving me off. And my mom, oh my god, she was torturing me, bro. She made like one of my favorite like meals like right after my surgery, and it pissed me off because I couldn't eat it, but it was like right in front of me, and I was like, ugh. And I was like debating whether I should like, like just blitz it up and just make it into a smoothie, but then I was like, I don't want to eat like blitzed up meat. Like that sounds kind of gross. So I didn't do that. So I just literally just made like smoothies and just had like yeah, pretty much just smoothies, and that's about that. And I had a lot of Powerade as well. And I could handle like a little bit of a Ritz cracker, because Ritz crackers like they like melt in your mouth quite a bit. So I was glad I could have that. But otherwise, that was all I was doing. And then while I was recovering, I couldn't go to any of my classes. But luckily for me, that week, since of the snowstorm, it was like a lot of my professors being really lenient about stuff, which I really liked. And like I said, all of my professors that I've ever had are super duper chill. So I was able to take time off the class without like worrying too much. So that's really great. Like I love my professors. They're awesome. And I would recommend them to you guys, but I don't want to like dox myself. So I'm not going to say who they are, but they know who they are, and they're fucking sick, and I love them for allowing me to have time to recover. And they were super understanding about like my infection and stuff too, because like if I didn't have that infection, I probably would have been fine to like go back to my classes like literally like as a weekend, like because I got it done on a Thursday, and if I didn't get my infection, I would have been in class on Monday. But I wasn't, like, obviously I got infected, so I couldn't go into class. And they were super understanding about that. They were like, yeah, no, that's totally cool, take your time to heal and stuff, and we'll see you when you see you. And I'm like, you guys are so fucking sick. And yeah, so I had a lot of fun dealing with that, and I still have to like do salt rinses and use this syringe to like get shit out of my fucking mouth every time I eat and stuff. And it's still like super sensitive back there, especially when I drink like really cold shit. Like I literally like it's that bad. But like I'm not gonna bitch about it too much, because it's better than having a pus filled thing in the back of my fucking mouth. So I'm happy about that. And right now I'm currently at spring break, as you guys know, so I've just been chilling, and I've recently picked up crocheting, but I feel like I've mentioned that before. I just don't know if I mentioned it here, but I've been crocheting for almost a month now, and that's what I mostly did when I was in bed. I crocheted like a lot of fucking granny squares, and I was getting sick of it, I'm not gonna be honest. But yeah, I did a lot of that. It was really nice to have something to keep me occupied, because I wasn't, like, if I didn't crochet, I think I'd be so fucking bored, because, like, I don't like doing art in my bed. I like to, like, sit up and do it, and, like, I literally could not, like, move for, like, most of the week when I was recovering. Like my recovery was like horrible. It was horrible. Like when I think back at it, I don't want to ever be subjected to that again. But if it wasn't for that infection, I would have been totally fine. But you know, and then so what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of crocheting, and that's what I did, and that's what I've been doing ever since spring break started, which was just like a day ago. And yeah, I've just been super into the swing of things, and I've just been enjoying all of that. And lots of things have been happening. Yeah. And even like before my surgery, like I wasn't even able to eat most of the shit that I would normally eat. Like I was like literally eating soup for like most of the time before my surgery anyways, because I like obviously my infection on the side of my mouth was hurting like super fucking bad, so I couldn't chew on this side. And then when I chew a lot on this side, it starts to hurt, and then it's not like I can go back to this side. So I just stopped like eating shit that I needed to chew. So I would just like eat soup and stuff, and that was already making me sick of it. And then after my surgery, I couldn't eat anything anyway. So like it was like almost like 3 to 2 weeks of me just not being able to fucking chew shit properly. And now I'm still able to, but like I'm still like kind of eating soft stuff. Like I'm as people know in my life, I am indeed a chip girl, but I was not able to eat chips during like most of this, so I've been like having like withdrawals. But now I'm like back on the chips. But I'm still like super careful with like what I eat and stuff too, just in case it gets a hole, and I always irrigate, so that's important. Oh fuck, where'd I put my chapstick? Okay, where did my chapstick go, guys? This is so strange. I don't know where my chapstick went. This is so peculiar. Okay, whatever. I'll find it later. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the surgery wasn't horrible. I didn't feel any pain, but I know some people don't get like the IV drip or like get like anesthesia, whatever the fuck, anesthetics. I don't know what the fuck it's called. But some people are like have to be awake or some shit, and I feel bad for them because golly, like I remember getting my cavities filled, and that shit was already like horrible as it was. So I can't imagine like having like surgery and being awake for it. Don't mind the hair, man. It's been like a couple of days since I showered, because I know that like when you get your hair done, you gotta like have it be a little dirty. So it hasn't been washed, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'm still rocking with the blonde, but I just want something new. I think I'm probably just gonna go like non-permanent, just so I can like revert back to the blonde if I want it. I actually don't know. I'll have to speak to him about it, but that's on that. What else? I think that's about it. I think that's all to update you guys on. I'll come back talking more about other stuff, but right now that was just a quick life update. It's currently March 4th, 2023. And yeah, I've just been chilling. And I will be back with another video. Thank you.